Lepo pozdravljeni na festivalu stripa Tinta. Začenjamo s prvim mojstrskim tečajem. Z mano je že Lukas Verstraete, belgijski avtor, ki je zelo vesel, da sem uspela povedati njegov priimek do konca. Njegovo razstavo oziroma delno sodeluje tudi na razstavi v galeriji Alcatraz na Metelkovi, ki bo odprta še približno kak mesec, tako da lahko tudi tam, poleg ostalih avtorjev, ki so tudi sodelovali pri Holiburgerju, antologiji Foruma Ljubljana, lahko vidite še kakšen mesec torej to razstavo. Lukas pa nam bo danes sicer predstavil svoje delo. Predavanje bo potekalo v angleškem jeziku, pa yes, of course, you can ask him anything. He's also a professor at the academy in Ghent, so he's used to questions. Lukas, thank you very much for that. We are very happy that you came, and the stage is yours.
Hi. Thank you for having me as well. Let's have a look. How this opens. Perfect. Good. I want to talk about you all, and I have some kind of theme that goes through the whole presentation, and it's about love and theft. About stealing, to be honest, and the thin line between when it's a copy or or it's an honoring thing from an artist, and it's about inspiration and where you can get inspiration. And I will show you 8 kind of crimes I committed. I will be very honest, sometimes maybe too honest. So I'm sorry already. But before I show you my thefts, my crimes, I show you my family. This is the family Verstraete. I'm the one here saluting in a Canadian style. Like, I don't know how long ago it was, I was 8. And this family is very important to me, not only because it's family, but also because it's a very artistic family. In our small village, we are known as the art family. Mostly because of this man. This is my grandfather, Lukas Verstraete. He made several posters. He made also a lot of cartoons. He was really an illustrator. He was also a teacher as me. And now I teach at the same school he was teaching, so the circle is round. But the most important was not the only thing that we had an artistic family, but most of all, we had a studio at our grandparents' place. And every week we went there to eat spaghetti with the whole family. And we went often in the atelier and the studio to see him drawing or to see what his drawing could be about. And for me, drawing or being an illustrator was the most normal job you could have. So yeah, my grandfather. I was also named after my grandfather, therefore Lukas and so on. Everybody had to draw in our family. It was with a whip, like draw boy. So also my aunt became an illustrator, Barbara Verstraete. She made these drawings. And she was also a teacher for a long time for me, of mine. When I was between 12 and 16, in Belgium you can go for a hobby to a school where you learn to draw and you have several small assignments. And then she was my teacher. Then we go to my generation. This is my cousin, Marta Verschaffel. And she was the first of our generation who went to Lukas School of Arts to study illustration. This is her work. She works often in black and white. Made also some comics, Lily and Passages. It needs to get published here. Then there was a second cousin who went to Lukas School of Arts, also for illustration. There are no other options in our family. Boris Bonne. He doesn't draw a lot anymore. He became a cook. But he was very important to me because he introduced color in our family. Like you have here black and white, black and white, black, yeah. Here a bit of color, but mostly black and white. And also maybe fun things. Yeah, happy, cool things. But most of all, the most important from them all is my father, my mother, and my two brothers. My father is an architect, my mother is teaches in art history, and my two brothers became also an architect or artist. We draw a lot together. These are some drawings we made together with my brothers. And we had two hobbies. It was watching television and drawing a lot. And you can see the influence of watching television. Like the two rides down are mine. And I was a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles. And I was also a huge fan of Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls. I was thinking, wow, I want to become a basketball player. Didn't turn out like this. This picture is taken in Ljubljana. I found it in our archive. And this was maybe the most important for me to become an artist. It was a way for my parents to keep us shut when we were eating. And the best thing in restaurants, it's not... in the 90s, it was very popular to have a serviette where your plate is going to be. We turn it over, and my mother hand over the pencils, and then give us an assignment. These assignments were always about things you can't see in the room. You have to come up with an idea, and they were also quite difficult. It was not like draw a rabbit, but it was often a rabbit, how to kill a rabbit, or draw a dead pope. Yeah, it was a lot about death, but it was always a bit strange. And there was a competition always between my brothers and my father to make our mother laugh or cry, who knows. But the best drawing got a point. At the end, who has the most points got a dessert. They said, but we never got a dessert, so yeah. But for me, this was very important because I was starting to look very good at things and try to look also at the drawing. When you are drawing, you are thinking at the same moment. And therefore, I can say maybe I can draw everything out of my head because of that. Because of earning points from my mother. Thank you, Mama. And then I have to commit my first crime. It was a sunny day somewhere in the Provence. And like I said, I was fan of Michael Jordan. Why I was fan? Because of Space Jam. And Bugs Bunny was everything for me. And I thought, oh, I really want to have a picture of Bugs Bunny that I can draw myself. And as a kid, you try, but it never looks like this. So the easiest way is to put a paper on the window, place another paper on top of it, and trace it. I showed it my father, and my father didn't look like the bull, but maybe act like the bull. He tore it apart, and he said, never steal, never copy things. And try to think, try to draw out of your head, try to envision it out of your head. And it affected me a lot in that way that Boris Bonne, my cousin, on a family gathering, he put a little dino figure in front of him and he was drawing it, like by observing it. And I said to my cousin, don't do it. If my father sees that you are looking at something and it doesn't come out of your head, it goes. So for a very long time, I never observed directly. I always kept it somewhere in my mind and then started drawing. Second crime. I got older and I was really into Roy Lichtenstein, sorry, and pop art. And I really wanted to have a Roy Lichtenstein in my room. The easiest way is by copying it. This was when I was like 14. And the pop art movement in my life continued thanks to this. Amazon Plus, Facebook from now. And what was very special to Amazon Plus, there was the little avatar you could get. You had the option to be a duck, but you could also take pictures or anything. And I really wanted to have a drawing for it. But I didn't have a scanner, so the easiest way to have a drawing of yourself on the computer was to use Paint. And Paint became my life for like 3 years. And I made many, many pictures like these on Paint. And this was when I was 16 until 18. And then it's time for the third crime. I entered Lukas School of Arts in illustration, like my whole family did. I was accepted because I was family, I don't know. And I started with, where to start? That was a question when you enter art school. Maybe I could continue making paint, but using paint, but okay. I searched for new influences, and the first influence was Marta Verschaffel, my own cousin. And she just graduated school with the highest points you can get, a 20 out of 20. So I thought, this is the way to go. This is her work. This was mine. Then a teacher said, Lukas, we have it already enough Verstraetes. Maybe try something new. And at that time, there was the god Brecht Evers. He just published his first book. And I thought, what?
He was here last year.
Ah, very good. Don't tell him. This was a work of him, and I really liked the colors. I liked the style, the way of using the aquarelle and the écoline. So, okay, let's try it myself. Then a teacher said, Lukas, it looks a bit like Brecht Evers. Maybe try something new. And then I discovered Brecht van der Broeke and Attack. Brecht van der Broeke, also a teacher, was a former member of Lukas School of Arts, now my colleague as well. And I thought, oh, they use paint. Let's try paint as well. These are their drawings. These were mine. So yeah. Yeah, Olivier Schouw, it was not really a crime, but I was hugely influenced by him. Most because of this picture and this sequence. I was used to read more the classical comics, and then I saw this, and I was like, wow. In normal comics, if you eat something, it's like, hop, and it's over. And this is, I'm gonna eat it. And I thought, wow, you can play with the form, you can play with the shape, and I was in love. And I made a little ode, like a homage in one of my comics, also somebody eating and turning from very thin to very fat in just one moment. Okay, but then I was fed up all the time. Teachers say, it looks like this, it looks like this. And I thought, okay, I need to find not my own style, because I don't believe in this word. It's more your own way of thinking, your own way of finding out how you approach an assignment, a team, and so on. And I made like some kind of rules. I wanted to use color and wanted to work quite thin, so the easiest material to use was color pencils. And this was in the third year I was studying, and we had an open assignment. You could do whatever you want. And I started making this comic, and the rule for myself was that every chapter needed to be in another way of coloring and another way of using the pencils. And so from chapter to chapter, I had to reinvent myself in a way. And it became this book. And it became also maybe my way of thinking. I had no problems anymore of being associated that much with another artist. I could work on with this. And then in the masters, so this story was quite simple. It was about a quest in search of the end of the story, just going from A to B. And this was a story for the masters a bit more complicated. I won't tell you all of it, but it starts with one person, and the person gets divided in three, and each part gets his own storyline, and they cross each other, and blah, blah, blah. It was a lot of thinking, to make up this story. So a half year I was working on this storyboard. It was way more pages than this. And then at the end of that year, I had like 36 pages. And these are two of them. And I was still like not convinced. I was not feeling ready to go into the world of illustration or comics. So I decided to go to Attac, his school, to teach with Attac in Hallandersale. And the first thing he said when I showed him all my drawings, he said, make a copy. And he took all the copies and he went back home and he put like with a red marker on it where it needed to change. So the problem with the one down is that the man is just falling straight ahead. There's no depth in it. And he said, okay, but maybe try to use a diagonal in it. He also explained a bit above how it could change, and then it turned out to be this. And that was, it was all about how you can read an image. And an image you read from top to bottom, from left to right. And it helped me a lot in finding out how I can approach the rest of this comic. And it turned out to be this one. It took 3 more years, so in total I worked 4 years on it. 208 pages. It's also translated in French and in English, and it's called A Book to Make Friends With. And for me, the most important in the book was that I had fun in it, that I liked to draw it, that the main approach to the story was also thinking what I really want to draw. So these are an example of things I really wanted to draw and maybe to show off as well. In a way, it was also a book as some kind of portfolio to show the outside world, here I am, use me. This is the English version, a very fancy one. Okay, and then they used me. I got my illustration assignments, but when you start with making an illustration, where do you get the idea? And in the beginning, when I started, I took this quote of Picasso with me, good artist copy, great artist steal. So I went stealing, mostly in the books that I had laying around, or, for example, also some greater artists. This you can call easily a homage. Everybody knows Vincent van Gogh. No problem. But there will be problems. Not in here yet. This is James Ensor. He's well known. You can use it. No. Peter Bruegel. I changed a lot. It's okay. Michelangelo won't complain anymore, so it's okay. Fritz Kahn. Okay. I just used the idea. It's okay. Here, it's getting more complicated for me because it's the same movement in the drawing, some elements that are the same, and I was, maybe because of the pressure, the deadline pressure, I didn't thought well enough about this, but for myself, I have problems with this one, maybe also about this one. I changed a bit the idea, but still a lot of things are the same. Here it's okay, I think. If not, you can yell. And these were all books I had laying around, and when you had a team or an assignment, I was going through until I found like a spark that I continue working on. Evermeulen, famous Belgian illustrator. And then the one I have stolen the most of it, and I won't show you everything, but it's Sol Steinberg. It's my personal god. I really like his way of thinking and approaching a drawing. So this one, it's okay to steal from, but this one, it's another idea, it's another team, but okay, you have the same color scheme, also a dog, a tree in it, and so on. It was never meant to be like really copying, but now if I look back at it, I'm a bit worried. And this I'm worrying the most. This is like okay, we call it a homage now, but this is really like one-on-one for me. Jiri Salomon is someone else that I really got inspired by, and it's next to Sol Steinberg. These books are always laying around next to me. And I really like the colors, also the strange story that is told, and I use it for a bird card of somebody that I know. This one, debatable as well. It's the idea I took, but I changed it completely, but still if you put them next to each other, it's a thin line, but okay, you make it your own. You can always steal from family, no problem. I really like the figure of my grandfather, and I used it. And this I use as well. This is my birth card when I was born, and I use it as some kind of reference. And the best way maybe for me to steal is going to musea and not writing anything down or don't make picture of it, just try to remember how it looked like. And this image I saw from Pablo Picasso, I took it with me, I made a new image. Same for a Russian icon I saw, I really liked the framework and the red lines in it, but then I could completely change it. And this one I saw in London, it was a little statue of the death of Monroe, and I made an image out of it. This one is for me the most difficult one maybe, because so the best way is to go to musea and just to try to remember. This one is the problem with Instagram. You see everything all at once, everywhere, and you have no attachment anymore. And in here, for me, the problem is really the cat of Morocco is really about that curly, what's the word? Tail. And I really used it as again. This is also something I found on Instagram. It's easy to shop, and that's also a problem. I see it also with students of mine. Difficult. This one you can say, okay, you took some inspiration, you go on with it, but then I really think, oh, why the fuck I did this? Use this little suitcase and almost draw it again. So don't do this. This was maybe the best way. It's just a spark that's there. You see something and you immediately think, I can go there with it. Also a good way if you can collect ideas from others and try to make it your own. And Google and Pinterest is in that way also good, because the image that I made on the right was about energy, and if you type down in Google, I always do it, type down energy, you see all the cliches, and then you can go over the cliches and work with that. And this is inspiration from a kid show I saw as a kid. It's like the original Sinterklaas. Okay, this has a bigger story. So the drawing I saw was from Braun Schneider. I found it in a German book, and I made a copy of it. I'm sorry. It's the same rhythm, maybe the same movements as well, and for me, maybe this is the most problematic of all. But then I saw that the comic itself, the one on the left, was based on a video of a man, and that there's that it's actually a kind of gag. There are many more cartoons that almost telling the same. So a year ago, I tried to reinvent this again and made a new comic based on the same theme, same idea, like the problem of getting nowhere when you want to start work. Where does inspiration come from? And the struggle of this. So it turned out to be this one. And this one is okay for me. This is something new that got some distance from the original work. But I'm not done yet. You have stealing. You can steal, but someone can steal also from you. And then somebody contact me and say, hey, Lukas, look at this. This reminds me of something. I said, oh, yeah. But okay, I still myself. They did other things, they changed it. I was okay with it. But I was curious. And I went for more, and I found more. I saw this one. It was on the website. And I thought, oh, this looks similar to mine. The hills, the yellow, the pink line. But I thought, oh, he did better than me. So, okay, I was okay. But then I saw small elements, the butterfly, and I thought, oh, the butterfly reminds me of this. And then I went on and saw the table, and then I thought, oh, this reminds me of this. And then I went on, and I saw this one that I have stolen from Picasso, and he got okay, it's okay. Then I saw this, oh, this reminds me of something, and I said, oh, wow, it's the man with the hand like this, the woman crying downstairs. In the other corner, you have the man with the hat. There are a lot of similarities. Then I saw this, I thought, okay, this doesn't look like mine at all, but then I zoomed in, and I thought, oh yeah, the Bruegel, I did it as well, but okay. But then the lamp is the same, the vase is the same, the two vases, they almost look copied, like traced even. And there was some tracing involved. I saw this, I saw that. And then I thought, but wait, one more. I put it next to each other and I thought, this is very strange how this leg of that man on the right stands. Normally the other foot would be lower. And then I turned it over, and then I thought, oh, these lines, they're all the same. And then I had a little contact with him. We mailed. It was a nice conversation. I explained, I got it, that you want to get some inspiration from somewhere, but it's also like my father rule, don't trace. I had a feeling that there was some tracing involved in this. Because some mistakes that I made were taken over, like, whoops, I go. Like in here, this was just a mistake, this line, and then this was just taken over, so I thought, But the conversation was nice. He said, oh, I'm still a student, I'm searching for something, and then he unfollowed me, and then everything went okay. He found some other artist. Number 5. So I was a bit fed up with finding inspiration of other artists. I wanted to find inspiration by myself. And then I pushed myself every time I had an assignment to fill in 2 pages in my sketchbook. These sketchbooks are also to be seen in the gallery. What's the name? Dobra Vaker. And it was really about pushing yourself and being, maybe having trust in yourself. There will be an idea, but I'm not the one who just walking through the park and thinks, oh, I have an idea. I really need to sit down, wait, or draw until something good comes out of it. And the rule is for me is 2 pages, minimal 12 to 16 different ideas, and it needs to come in one night. So sometimes when I'm lucky, it's from 9 till 11 that I work, but often it's from 9 till 3 until I have all the ideas. But I really want to go through this process to be sure nothing else was untouched. So it's really stealing from yourself. Put pressure on yourself, finding out, and when you're working on one idea, the other idea pops up, and you continue working. And this is what I still do today. Maybe it's sometimes too much work because often they just select one idea and maybe not the idea you really want to. But then it's again the assignment for me to make something good out of this selection again. Number 6. It's maybe the easiest one, and for me this is like the base of what illustration is about, is how you depict something. And for doing this, you go every time to the basics. Like for example here, what is a bike, or what is bicycling? It's a person on a bike, and the bike is a frame with wheels. And then if you know this, you can play. you can play also with how a cat looks like. You can play how a car looks like. You have the image, you have the sound, you have the onomatopee, vroom. And it's for me, again, put some pressure on myself to rethink an image, to rethink a concept, and surprise yourself as well. That's maybe the most important. What is a boat? What is a car? What is a haircut of a footballer? Because they can look weird. And then another way is by just putting frames, and these frames need to be filled in some kind of way. And this is a series I made 2 years ago, and it was about the seasons, and in the center it was always the tree itself, and then the positioning of the moon and the earth at the sun. And then I had all the frames that I can do whatever I want, that I had some connection to that season. And now we're going digital. Stealing, you can also... Oh, hello, Doc. You can also let somebody else steal for you nowadays with AI. And I was very curious, like, AI, can you make my kind of work? I was searching for a prompt to describe this kind of work that I made, and they did a good job actually. I thought, but still, this didn't look really like a Lukas Verstraete. It's different, but there are elements that maybe I can reuse again or think, oh, this could be nice. But I also thought, maybe AI can be my assistant as well. The most fun I have while drawing is by making an image to come up with the idea, but then you often have the second base, you have to go coloring it, and often for me that's a stress moment, like I don't know where this is going, I need to find out, so I asked AI, can you do this for me? He did, yeah, he tried, but a lot of things changed, and that's a good thing maybe about ChatGPT, that they don't reuse your image, they rearrange it and change it. And there are nice elements in it, but still, I did it myself. And then I thought, okay, this is a drawing I made like last week, and it's maybe the start of an exhibition I want to make. I want to make in total 52 images like this. It's about a couple, and I want to show how the couple behaves to each other every week. So you have 7 frames, 6 at the left, and 1 big one at the right now. But I was curious, where could this story go to? And I said, can you maybe, based on what I'm explaining here, can you make new images? They tried, but it's a mess. Maybe elements that I can use, I don't know. And they also try to, that's the funny thing, they try to sign it in a way, but like Lukas and then Verstraete, maybe how you pronounce it. But for me, the best way to use AI now is just by having kind of sparring partner. I wrote one time the story in it, and there was a small element about a fly in the room. And I said, okay, can you continue this story? And they made the character of the fly enormous. The fly was taking over the story, and I was really, oh yeah, maybe, good idea. So we'll see what I use of this. Is this now the end of illustration? No. There's still one more crime to admit. It's the future. I teach. I teach in Brussels graphic storytelling and in illustration. You see some of my colleagues in Ghent. And in a way, I steal from my students as well. By, how do I do it? By talking all the time with them. They present their work, you talk with them about what they're doing, and it's some kind of mirror it becomes for you. Like, you ask them questions that you ask yourself, and you become way more, you criticize yourself way more than before. And you're also wondering, why do I say this to the student that I never would do? So it's nice to talk with these students. And I always remember the words of my teacher, Gule de Wankel. It was very good advice I got. Well, is there still time for a trauma story? Okay. So in St. Lucas, it's not in St. Lucas or Lucas School of Arts. In the first year, you start off with illustration and free arts together. It's not like this anymore, but back then it was like this. And all my friends, my dearest friends, thought illustration, no, this is not free. We go to the free arts and we go for real art. And I was like, oh, but I need to do illustration because of my family? No. But all of my friends went there and I felt alone. And I thought, okay, I will show them that illustration can be art. And to be honest, I made the most horrific work ever, and I all burned it down because of that idea. I really put a lot of big emotions in it, and I made big drawings, and they were the worst. They were no fun, they were all boring. And the only lifesaver I had was this. This is also presented in the gallery. And it was my little sketchbook that I took with me from school to back to home. Every day I was drawing in it, and it was all about fun. And that was the thing the teacher said to me, Lucas, it's really about having fun. And it's an easy one, but it's the most important one. And fun is not like, oh, la, 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 la. It's also about crying and trying to push yourself and trying to find out something in the paper, in yourself. And this sketchbook was all about that. So then it clicked, and I never became the free artist again. But just had fun, pleasure, passion. And another thing she said was, you're always an artist. In this case, you're always, every assignment you get, everything you said, you need to pull it to yourself and make it your own. And it's again about pleasure, finding out what's in the assignment, finding out how you can make it your own. And therefore, I have a problem. I always say yes to assignments, and I try to stop this, but by saying yes, I'm always curious. This assignment has a theme and a describing, and I'm so curious what will happen if I take this. And for me, the most interesting assignments are the most cliches ones. It's birth cards, it's wedding cards, it's New Year cards, because there are so many of them, and they're always with pink elephants and sweet bears. Sorry for the hosts who made it. But as long as you have carte blanche, you can do whatever you want. It's super. And this one was for my own son, and it's maybe my most debated work I ever made, because my idea for his birth card started with the idea of putting his graveyard or his gravestone in it. Not that I wish him dead, but more that I wish him the best of luck in his life. And in the idea of giving birth to somebody, you always also think, one day he will be dead. We can be honest about that. But I wish him all this kind of paths in life, and that he live life the fullest. So there are different paths he can follow and he don't need to follow. This is also a collaboration, so not only the sun itself is a collaboration between me and my girlfriend, but also my girlfriend made the yellow and orange line. So yeah, live life the fullest, I would say, like my son will. Thank you all for listening. Yeah, it's over.
Maybe we have any questions from the audience for Lukas? Kakšno vprašanje?
Did you ever have a problem with stealing? Like, did someone contact you for using a composition or some kind of details?
Maybe not, but maybe today it changes. I don't know. Yeah, Brecht Evens and Brecht van Broeke were my teachers back then, so they had an influence as well at that moment. Maybe they said as well, Lukas, get away from us, but it was never a fight. But good question.
Še kakšno vprašanje?
Always the embarrassing moment, but that's good.
Well, maybe I have a question for you then. Did you ever check into the author rights, for example? How is with that in Belgium? Like, would you, for especially those student posters and illustrations and everything you did, could they like sue you?
Yeah, I did, but I'm searching for the name, but as soon as you make fun of it, it's okay.
Parody.
Parody, thank you. It's not always a parody I make. Yeah, I checked it, but it's very vague, and yeah, who owns the right to something? It's not that clear. So I steal, and sometimes I copy, but it's never intended. So as long as I keep this in mind, I'm avoiding the problems and jail time, I hope.
Well, we'll see about that in a couple of years.
I have my flight.
Any other questions? Otherwise, Lukas will be signing the books now for an hour, so you can catch him outside, and we will continue 4:15 with the masterclass of Benjamin Rainer. So thank you very much, Lukas. Aha, seveda povabljeni tudi toplo v dobro vago, kjer je tudi razstavljeno Lukasovo delo, poleg še 3 razstav francoskega rezidenta, Petje Kolenko, Simona Ekarija, Petje Kolenko in pa tudi še skupinska razstava.